Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another weekly slash daily breakdown from FX.GOLDSMITH. Breaking down gold spot versus the US dollar, of course. Today's date, 2023-08-21. It's about 6:30 here in Asian session for me. Let's take a quick look on the weekly and see what we have done and what potentially we can do here moving forward for the rest of this week. Uh, Obviously, we have closed below the weekly previous support at about 1916, 1915. And we've come down to tap into the 1888 areas. Looking left on the weekly specifically, some areas that have bounced pretty good from there, areas of rejection, some choppiness, the more you look left as well. So we need some more information here. Let's take a peek into the daily. Just based off the weekly, though, before we move on, you notice this big push down from 1960s, 700 pips on the weekly without creating a bullish and a bearish candle. So I'm looking for a bit of a retracement just based off this, but let's drop down to the daily time frame and see what we have done. Okay, let's start plotting some support and resistance levels here on the daily. Looking left here. Make sure you plot these support and resistances where there's the least amount of fake outs. And it is the strongest rejection area, whether it be bullish or bias or support or, bullish or bearish, support or resistance. Make sure that it makes sense when you plot them. So everything lines up to the left, rejection, rejection. We bounce from here. Okay, perfect. So zooming in on the daily a little bit here. We tapped into our 1885 target from last week that I mentioned, and we started to officially bounce. So now we have fully created a bullish candle on the daily, so we can expect a little bit of a continuation here. Honestly, putting the daily and the weekly together, I'm expecting maybe a retest up to like 1916 max, and see if we can start to kind of create some bearish momentum after that. But we definitely need this pullback phase here as well. So today's New York session was a little choppy for us. We had this support level on this broker's 4-hour time frame. You can see we've kind of created that support, created the resistance again, and then continued going bullish. So let's see what happened today and where we can look to get into positions or at least some potential targets. Where did that go? Right there. We got this here. Okay, so you can see that obviously there's lots of intercession and intraday resistances and supports within this 150 pip range, obviously. This is where you get the highest rejection, the biggest rejection from the 1900s. So that's going to be our next kind of potential target to see. We did close bullish, obviously, previous day. So let's look on the lower time frames and see what we can expect here. So we started to consolidate late into the New York and Asian Open. Essentially, we have this clean traffic here down for 40 pips. We retested a little bit, so that might have been the sustained push, but there is some clean traffic right from 93 all the way down to 90. So those 30, 40 pips that haven't really been retested too much. So I don't doubt that the daily can kind of push a little lower before filling this wick. But this may very well just push up into the 1900s, fill the wick over Asian session. So be careful as we approach some of these highs. You're going to have to close above, and then you have a short range up here. So not a lot of 27 pips. You might be able to catch a position if there's volume in the market. Especially with this push up here, you can expect it to maybe go a little higher above 1900, 1902 type thing. And then just be careful if price starts to reject on you later on in that hourly, because we don't have an hourly closure above there yet. So essentially what we got here, yeah, some consolidation, a little bit of that support that was formed. This was kind of your liquidity pull here at 5 a.m. open to drive all the way up into the 97 area. So yeah, essentially it's just how you can get positions all the way up to the 1900 and into the 1910s, 1912s. So it'll be nice once we start closing above this high here on the 4 hour as well. We can use some of these areas as retest areas for further continuations up into the 1910s, 1912s. Other than that, looking at the bearish side of things, I'm going to need a bearish daily candle now. I need a bearish high, just like something like this, preferably a little stronger. Some candles looking like this in order to kind of come back down. So now I have switched, not necessarily my overall bias because we are still very bearish, but I've switched my interim kind of trend lines to bullish. I do like buys now, especially if you're getting them at levels of support. So I don't want to start buying here. The only time I'm going to buy around the 1900s is if we fully break above and are retesting this area during higher volume times in order to retest potential highs or create new highs. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let's just be careful for this kind of 30-40 pip impulsive move that still might have to be corrected. We can correct that over London session. Continue to respect the 1890s, 1888 areas, and then continue all the way back up to the 1900s. So, yeah, we're just waiting for more price action to form. You got this high here, you got this low here. We're in this range. We kind of need a little bit more direction. So you need to see if these prices are going to hold in and around the 1895 areas. So right in there, potential rejection zones as well, right? So bottom wick for dailies can come down into here, come down into here. Let's get that a little straighter. These two areas to come down, bounce. Let's draw a few more. And back up, potentially all the way as well. So keep an eye out for that. Ultimately, we're just waiting for more price action. Remember, guys, we're trying to buy at the lows here. We don't want to get caught buying at the top and selling the bottoms here. So, yeah, be safe. In addition to that, I might be away a little bit more this week dealing with some personal things here in DC. So, I will keep you guys updated as I know more. But other than that, we'll see you hopefully tomorrow for the New York session. If not, safe trading. Thanks so much for watching.